Hi everyone, Emily Cook here, Catherine Pitcher, and we are just a few blocks off from the Capitol and wanted to take a minute to explain, give a little background and information on what is Texas Rights Life's Patient Advocacy Team. What do we do? Who are we? What services do we provide? Catherine, give us a little info on that.
Sure. So Texas Right to Life advocates for innocent human life from fertilization until natural death. And so our patient advocacy team comes into play in that second part of our mission statement. We're wanting to ensure that every patient in Texas has their right to life protected until they are able to pass away naturally. And so what that looks like in practice is we have several staff members who are dedicated to taking calls from families when their loved ones are experiencing a denial of their life-sustaining treatment or life-sustaining care. Which looks like a ventilator, dialysis, certain medications. This is just care that is helping that patient stay alive. And so we want to make sure that if that's what their instructions were, if that's what their surrogates are instructing for them, we want to make sure that they're receiving the care that they deserve. And so families can contact Texas Right to Life by calling our office or submitting our online form. And one of our experienced patient advocates will get back to them within a matter of hours or sometimes minutes in these time-sensitive situations. So we are walking side by side with these families through these really difficult situations, providing them with advice, advising them on next steps, and ultimately just trying to help them through this really difficult process.
Right, and there are two specific state laws in Texas that allow for the removal of life-sustaining treatment over your objections, and that's where we get the bulk of our calls for help from. And Texas Rights Law, we even have an on-call schedule, so nights, weekends, holidays, when these cases inevitably show up. Someone on our staff who's trained will start to work with that family. And some of the issues that we see is that when you've come to this point, communication has broken down. So what the patient needs, what other care facilities are appropriate, there's the hospital and the families are at loggerheads. They don't know. And so we step into that role and try to facilitate communication so that everyone understands what's going on, what are the next steps, what does the patient need. One of the issues that we've seen a lot is that when one of these state laws are invoked to remove care, we can't transfer to another facility because that patient needs what's called a trach, meaning a long-term mechanical ventilation breathing assistance, and without that trach, going to a lower level of care is not possible. And so sometimes we're stepping in to try to help get that care taken care of so that we can get the patient out of the facility, get the 10-day countdown stopped, and moved somewhere else. And additionally, another issue that we see happen is gap in insurance coverage, or maybe Medicaid issues, that financial issues that prevent the patient from being transferred to another facility. And so our patient advocacy fund steps in to maybe fund an ambulance ride that insurance won't cover from the ICU to a skilled nursing facility. That's happened before. Or maybe they simply need help with Medicaid enrollment, and we have a Medicaid attorney who can help assist with that. But so that's real-world examples of what Texas Rights Life's patient advocacy staff, what we do on a daily basis. Catherine, tell us, what are some of the numbers? How many patients did we see last year? How many have we seen this year?
Sure. So in 2020, we received over 60 calls from families facing, different medical conflicts, and we are on track to exceed that number. Actually, so far in 2021, we've received over 30 calls. I believe those numbers have quadrupled since 2018 of the number of calls that we're getting per year. So what we're seeing actually is that as knowledge of our patient advocacy team increases, as knowledge of more people hear about what we do, we're getting more calls. So we know what we're getting is just the tip of the iceberg, and it's these calls, it's this work that our team does every week that really informs our advocacy in the Capitol and helps us push for policies that better protect patients.
You're right, Catherine. We hear the desperate cries. We hear the wife sobbing on the other end of the phone. We hear the mom who is trying to save her son. We hear the elderly man who is just distraught. He does not understand what's going on. Those are the calls, and those are the everyday realities of Texans and the everyday realities of personally our jobs. And that's the knowledge that we take into the Capitol when we're advocating for policies here at Texas Rights Life. So thank you guys for watching. Keep an eye out on our social media, on our website at texasrightslife.com for updates and our patient advocacy team, and we'll see you guys around the Capitol.